Good dog.
Up next, the Brewers face the Detroit Tigers live here on Super 18, WVTV, Milwaukee. Super 18 Sports presents Milwaukee Brewer Baseball. Today's game is being brought to you by the Miller Brewing Company, sole sponsors of the U.S. Olympic Training Centers. By your neighborhood True Value hardware stores. By Toyota, who reminds you to get more from life. Buckle up. Who could ask for anything more? By Century Foods. Good food costs less at Century. And by the Milwaukee County Medical Complex, member of the Milwaukee Regional Medical Center. By Hardee's, we're out to win you over. By the Grand Slam Value Team, your Metro Milwaukee Chrysler Plymouth dealers. And by Taco Bell. Taco Bell has your order. Make a run for the border. Now, live, here's Jim Paschke and Mike Hegan.
It's Milwaukee Brewers baseball tonight from Tiger Stadium in Detroit, Michigan. The Brewers and the first place Detroit Tigers. Good evening and welcome to Tiger Stadium for Game 2 in this 4-game series with the Tigers. And, Mike, the Brewers won here last night 6-2. They have now won 7 of 11 ball games. The Tigers have lost 8 of 10, so the Brewers are catching Detroit in a rough situation, but a good situation for Milwaukee.
Well, really, Jim, you know, we talked about it a little bit last night, the fact that the Tigers are really leaving it open for other teams to get back into the race, Milwaukee Brewers being one of them. Of course, the Red Sox won, so they're only a game behind. But I think you can sense down in that ball field right now and in the clubhouse maybe a little new life, if you will, because there was a time there a couple of weeks ago when this ball club was down and not playing very well. They played well against the Tigers over the weekend. The Tigers aren't playing good. So I think they feel like this is a big weekend for them. You know, you'd like to get greedy. You look at 3 out of 4. 4 in a row would be great. 3 out of 4, they have to do it. Otherwise, if you split here this weekend, it's pretty much over because they don't see the East after this weekend.
Well, if you win 3, then Higuera goes on Sunday, and you have a good chance to win that 4th one. It's fun for the players now because the reporters are starting to ask the Brewers again, how does it feel to be in the race, and what do you think your chances are? Also today, we will perhaps see 1 or 2, maybe more of the 5 players called up from Denver, but all eyes will be on Gary Sheffield, and Treblehorn wants to get these people into the lineup. If we see Sheffield, what should we expect from him?
Well, I think you probably you would like to see him start off very quickly and like he's been here forever. You know, he struggled a little bit at Denver, Jim, when he first arrived from El Paso. But once he got his feet wet, once he relaxed a little bit, he had a very good year at the AAA level. I think really what Treb and the coaches would like to see, they'd like to see him play 20 ball games, find out what he can do, allow him to relax a little bit. I don't think at this point in time what numbers he puts up on the board are really important. It's just how he plays, because he's going to be here one way or another, and it'll probably be next year. So just allow him to see a little bit of the league and relax, and whatever he can do for you is a plus.
All right, tonight, Bill Wegman will try to snap a 5-game losing streak, and he will oppose another control pitcher, Frank Tanana.
Yeah, Frank Tanana has had his problems of late, as has the entire Tiger staff, I guess with the exception of Jack Morris, and their offense has had a problem. But Tanana will you know, if you take Doyle Alexander's right arm and put it on Tanana's left arm, you're going to see a clone is what you're going to see. A lot of off-speed stuff. I think Tanana still throws a little harder than Doyle Alexander, but he's had his problems of late. He'll have to have his control in order to be effective.
All right, the Brewers would like to clone last night's result. We'll be back with the lineups and the opening pitch in just a moment on the Brewer TV Network.
You know, when I played football, people said I was one tough player. But I not only out-muscled the other guy, I outsmarted him. I used my head. And a guy like me enjoys drinking Miller Lite, because Light's the less filling beer that tastes great. But the best thing about Miller Lite is that it shows a tough guy like me can still use his head.
Well, how's that, Gary?
You hit it right on the head. There's only one light beer, Miller Lite.
Hey, Dad, motor oil. We need some.
Yeah, well, just get the bargain brand, Sonny.
But, Dad, Valvoline makes the highest quality motor oil recommended by any automobile manufacturer.
Ah, quality schmality buster. I'd rather save money.
Hey, but there's a 15-cent rebate on every quart of Valvoline we buy.
Oh, sure, smart guy, but what about the 25-cent postage stamp?
But, Dad, this is an instant 15-cent rebate. We get our savings now.
Look, just get the Valvoline like I told you, or I'll sink you like a 3-foot putt.
We are back at Tigers Stadium in Detroit on an overcast evening and a threat of rain. But we will start on time, and here is the batting order that Frank Tanana will face tonight. Leading off for the Brewers and playing third base, Paul Molitor. Batting second, the left fielder, Jeffrey Leonard. Robin Yount in center field, hitting third. The right fielder, Rob Deere, bats in the cleanup spot. Bill Schroeder in the lineup tonight. Billy playing first base and batting fifth. The DH is Joey Meyer, who will hit sixth. Charlie O'Brien does the catching. O'Brien batting seventh. Jim Gantner will hit eighth and play second base. And the shortstop, Dale Swaim, batting ninth. Defensively for Detroit, Evans, Whitaker, Salazar, and Brookins on the infield. Sheridan, Pettis, and Lemon from left to right in the outfield. Matt Noakes behind the plate. There is Evans, Whitaker, the second baseman. Salazar at short. Brookins at third. Pat Sheridan in left, Gary Pettis in center field, and Chester Lemon in right. Matt Noakes behind the plate again tonight. In fact, the Tigers with the same offensive lineup tonight. And Frank Tanana, 14-8. He leads the Tigers staff in victories, a 4.20 earned run average. Against the Brewers here in 1988, 1-0, and lifetime, Tanana is 13-11. Had a rough outing his last start against Minnesota. Went 1 2/3 innings, gave up 7 hits and 6 earned runs. So Tanana on the mound tonight against the Brewers. Brewers won last night. Big weekend here in Detroit. Tigers fighting for their lives at first place, leading the Red Sox by just 1. There are the umpires, and stepping in to bring you the play-by-play, here's Jim Paschke.
All right, Mike. Tim Cheetah says, let's play, and Tanana delivers a fastball fouled away by Molitor. The Brewers trying to win for the second straight night here in Detroit and beat the Tigers for the 4th straight time. They won the final 2 last weekend at County Stadium and are trying to open with 2 victories in this 4-game series. Molitor at .320. He had a couple of bunt base hits last night. And, Mike, a real rarity. Paul Molitor was caught stealing twice in the ballgame by Matt Noakes.
Well, the first time that has happened this year, and I'll tell you, it hasn't happened very often during his career. And you see Noakes' hand, the right hand, the throwing hand, still heavily bandaged. He got hit over in Milwaukee on that hand, missed a couple of ball games.
Molitor fouling away the 0-2 pitch. 3 consecutive foul balls to open the game. They count 0-2.
Not a whole lot of room in that dugout. A small dugout to begin with, and the Brewers with their roster expanded by 5 here tonight.
Off speed, a breaking pitch from Tanana, missing a ball and 2 strikes. If we would have been able to look down the dugout, you would see players sitting all the way along the top step. There is not much room in either dugout here at Tiger Stadium. 14 victories for Frank Tanana. He is 7-3 at Tiger Stadium. Inside pitch, Molitor, a broken bat. Brookins gloves it, throws, and Evans can't hold on. Molitor reaches to lead off the ball game. It'll go as a base hit. So Molitor has 3 hits in the series, and all 3, Mike, are infield singles.
Well, you know, the one thing about Tanana, he worked Molitor a lot of stuff away and then went right in on his fist. Tough play for Brookins, the third baseman. I think, though, Jim, a catchable ball at first. You know, we talked about Bergman last night. They miss his defense at first base. A good throw would have had Paulie. But as a hitter, you'll take the base hit.
So Molitor is aboard for Jeffrey Leonard. Jeffrey was 1 for 3 last night, had the game-winning RBI, his 33rd. He's batting .245.
See Tanana right there, Jim. He will tantalize you away. Turn the fastball over you, throw you that off-speed stuff. And just when he gets you looking away, he will run that heater right inside on your fist or hard breaking ball.
As we said, he's a control pitcher, has to paint the corners to be effective. 1 ball and 1 strike to Leonard.
He does not use the plate. He uses the corners. And from the corner off the plate, both outside and in. Well, does not want to use the middle of the plate.
Changes speeds very effectively. 1 on, nobody out, the 1-1 pitch. Leonard shows bunt and takes a strike. Well, I imagine a few of the Brewer fans around the country and our viewing area noticed the note today in USA Today about Jeffrey Leonard. A trade rumor indicating that Detroit has an interest in Leonard. The article said that the Brewers were making him available. I'm not sure that is true. I think it was Detroit that was interested, Mike, and the Brewers turned down the deal. They did not want to give Detroit Jeffrey Leonard for a very simple reason. If he can help Detroit, why can't he help Milwaukee with the Brewers only 7 games out of first place? And it would have been a minor league player probably. And if Leonard does in fact become a free agent and does not sign with Milwaukee, they would get compensated with a Class B player at the very least. So it did not make sense in terms of the final month of the season, and the Brewers have high hopes for Jeffrey Leonard. They believe that the second time around in the American League will be a more productive situation for him at the plate, and I think we've seen that this year, Mike, don't you?
He is a guy that goes up there. You know, I think Jeffrey thinks a lot at the plate. A lot of hitters, Jim, like to see that pitcher the second and third time. You catalog in your memory bank how the guy threw, what his breaking ball looked like, how he pitched you in certain situations, and you go up there with a little more aggressive attitude at the plate. Well, they're set up inside now. They're going to try to jam him in there. Ooh, almost got him.
That ball just missed. 2-2 now.
See, they did the same pattern on Leonard that they did on Molitor. And when Matt Noakes went out to talk to Tanana, I think that's what they were talking about. We're going to try take 1 shot in there. I think they got him looking away, and they're going to take 1 shot inside and try to get him right on the fists.
Still nobody out. Molitor aboard. A 2-2 pitch.
Coming right back in.
And they caught the inside corner. Molitor holds, and Leonard strikes out. Strikeout number 1 for Tanana, and Jeffrey having a word with home plate umpire Tim Cheetah.
I'll tell you what he's saying. He's saying that's the same spot that you called it a ball before. Now he's got Tanana mad at him and Leonard mad at him. But they went right back with that fastball inside, and there's a look at it. Same spot, wasn't it? You could see Noakes trying to frame that ball back in on the plate. And there's Jeffrey Leonard's reaction to the home plate umpire, Timmy Tashita.
That's just what he said. Where was the last one? So the strikeout allows Robin to bat with Molitor aboard, and 1 out in the first, no score. Darrell Evans holding Molitor. He has been caught just 8 times, 2 of them last night.
Boy, that is awfully close to a block. Tanana pauses up there, Jim, and then you could almost see from here where he was leaning a little bit toward home plate.
No score, 1 out, first inning. And Tanana continues to concern himself with Molitor as Yount waits to bat. Robin carries a .305 average, so Tanana knows he has a tough guy at the plate. Robin lays down a good bunt. Molitor moves up. Tanana with a strong throw, not in time to get Robin. The Brewers are bunting and bunting well in this series. 2 infield singles, runners at first and second with 1 out.
Well, a couple of things here. He had the third baseman playing back, plus the fact that he got himself a breaking ball. A good pitch to bunt on, and Tanana really made a good play, Jim. Got over there in a hurry.
A good strong throw, but Robin, of course, fleet of foot, and he beats it out. The Brewers scored 5 times in the 5th inning last night with 3 bunts. Molitor reached on a bunt single. They had a safety squeeze for a run and a suicide squeeze for a run. Here's Rob Deere. Rob drove in 2 runs last night, 1 for 4 in the ball game. His average holding at .251. He has really changed his approach at the plate.
He has. He's stayed on the ball, taking a lot of balls into the alleys in right and left center field.
The Tigers still play him to pull in the outfield. There's a breaking pitch. Brookins.
Well, it hit off. I think it hit off Robbie Deere. Hit Deere.
It did, and it's a foul ball.
Rob's
1-1.
He's got the protection, but the foot isn't protected. He's taking his shoe off right now, or is he retying the lace?
Tightening it up, I think. He has the shin guard on that left foot, but the top of the foot is unprotected, and he has been hit there many, many times. Those hardly heal, do they? They keep getting foul balls on the top of the feet, and you're sore all season. Deere has had to resort at times to wearing some extra padding in the shoes just to keep the feet comfortable in the shoe. 2 men aboard, 1 out. Tanana facing Deere. Again, a breaking pitch that hangs out of the strike zone. 2-1. Well, the Brewers got plenty of offense last night and outstanding pitching. Birkbeck and Bosio combining on a 4-hitter. Bosio didn't give up any runs in relief to pick up his 2nd save. Deere waiting on the 2-1. That evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Talking about save situations, the Brewers lead the major leagues with the fewest blown saves. They have only lost 6 save opportunities, 41 out of 47. The Mets are second with 8 blown saves, and Toronto has just 9. The bullpen has been outstanding at 88. Too early to talk about the bullpen tonight. We're just in the 1st. Deere gets a piece of it. The count holds 2-2.
You know, we've talked about this before, Jim. Baseball is a game of adjustments. All sports are, really, but at this level, you're adjusting back and forth constantly, and you can see right here, I mean, the scouting report on Rob Deere is he's staying in looking for the breaking ball, and they've just fed him hard fastballs inside, and Noakes is back in there again. I don't know if Robbie's getting a little help from Paul Molitor at second base as to location, but they know that Deere is thinking off speed, and they've run that fastball in there twice on him.
Let's see what Tanana does on 2-2. Noakes sets up inside. It was a fastball in. Mike, when there's a runner on second base who may or may not be tipping off location, will a catcher try to cross him up?
Yeah, but Noakes isn't. Noakes is very, that's why I can look at his signs in there, and he's giving location. And it's very easy for Molitor to look right in. Usually a catcher, they're not going to try to confuse Matt Noakes because he's young. They're going to try to keep him as simple as they possibly can.
Now, is Molitor looking at location with the fingers or location right there when Noakes sets up? He wants it inside, gets a breaker off the plate, the count is full.
Well, with Noakes, he's not decoying. A lot of catchers will decoy back and forth. They'll show in, out, and whatever the touch is, they'll have touches there. Whatever touch is the indicator, that's where they'll go, in or out. But Noakes is just giving one location, and that's it. So it's pretty easy to pick up. And a lot of times, if there's no location, if he doesn't give location, he did right there. He went back inside, didn't he?
Tapped that left inside of the thigh, and he wanted it inside. A fastball in, and Deere fouls it back.
They are just pounding him hard in there, aren't they?
Molitor, the lead runner at second base. Robin aboard at first with one out. No score in the first inning. Tom Trebelhorn relaying his signals to Tony Muser. Muser now sends those signals to the base runners and Deere at the plate.
A lot of times, Jim, a catcher will not give location on a breaking ball. If you don't see Matt Noakes go in or out, signal in or out, it's probably going to be a breaking ball. It's a breaking ball. Let's see if it is. Yep.
It is, and again, Deere gets a piece of it.
Now, Molitor can see that at second base.
Tanana working slowly, and he is throwing a lot of pitches already here in the top of the first inning.
Tell you, if you've got some good sign stealers down at second base or guys who really look for it, they can hurt a staff. That's why catchers are becoming a little more complicated back there.
Well, I know in the early 80s, the Brewers were masters at that. There go the runners. Deere hits it right over Molitor into left field. Paul will score easily with Robin going to third. And Rob Deere has another run batted in, his 72nd to share team honors with Robin. Molitor makes it 1-0.
I'll guarantee you he got some help from Paul Molitor down there because, I mean, even though that ball jammed him a little bit, that was in off the plate. You can see it right there. He got it down on the trademark, but boy, he was right on that fastball inside.
Deere gives the Brewers a 1-0 lead. Robin on third. Still only one out. Bill Schroeder batting in the 5th spot. I went by and looked at the lineup today, and he saw me, and he said, I don't know if I can stand the altitude. I don't usually hit this high in the lineup. Billy's batting 160.
Saying he hits Tanana pretty well, though, does he not?
He sure does. 6 for 17. That works out to 353. 17 at bats, not a great history, but it tells you that Schroeder can handle the pitches from Tanana. He has homered off Frank Tanana. A 1-1 pitch coming up. Runners at the corners with one out. Took something off. Schroeder out in front. A ball and 2 strikes.
Hey, that was an outstanding at-bat by Rob Deere, though, wasn't it? Fought off some tough pitches. Kept himself alive.
There you see the Brewer bats alive over the last 19 ball games. There's a breaking pitch on the ground. Salazar 1-2. A 6-3 double play. The Tigers get out of the inning, but the Brewers score a run on 3 hits. They leave one after a half. 1-0 Milwaukee on the Brewer TV network.
Be sure to catch all the preseason specials at True Value Hardware stores. They're going fast. Like energy-efficient furnace filters in selected sizes for just 59 cents each. Or this custom accessories foot-operated air pump for only $3.88. The 4-piece True Test bag of brushes trim set is only $1.98. And Cervest Gloss Spray Enamel comes in a choice of colors for just 99 cents a can at participating True Value Hardware stores and home centers.
Hardee's Garden Fresh Salads. We call them that because our lettuce comes from fresh lettuce. Our cabbage from fresh cabbage. And our carrots from, wouldn't you know it, fresh carrots. And now our freshest idea yet, zesty new chicken fiesta salad with tender marinated breast of chicken. Along with our chef and garden salads, it's a delectable thing we do to win you over.
If I were the big cheese at CarX, I'd come up with an offer so big, customers would flock to CarX in droves. You could not physically resist this offer. So you know what I'd do? I don't know what I'd do.
It's hard to resist the CarX Brake Bonanza. For only $39.95, get a brake job you can trust with a lifetime guarantee on pads and shoes now during the CarX Brake Bonanza.
Great offer. Glad I thought of it.
For spectacular 2-4 savings on everything in the store.
Make it count. Make it count.
The 2-4 sale's on now.
Bill Wegman staked to a one-run lead, and that's the batting order that Sparky Anderson will send up tonight. Whitaker, Sheridan, and Lynn. Lynn the DH in batting third. Evans, Lemon, and Noakes, 4, 5, 6. Salazar, Brookins, and Pettis, 7, 8, and 9. Defensively for the Brewers, Schroeder, Gantner, Swaim, and Molitor on the infield. Leonard, Yount, and Deere in the outfield. Charlie O'Brien behind the plate, and there you can look at Billy Wegman. Wegman 10 and 11. First appearance against the Tigers here in 1988, but he is 3 and 1 lifetime, and Wegman is making his 9th try at victory number 11.
And Billy is trying to snap a personal 5-game losing streak. He struggled a little bit in the month of August, trying to turn it around here in September. 0-3 in August, and Bill had an 8.07 earned run average, the second highest in the American League. So maybe September will bring better things for Bill Wegman. Whitaker falls behind quickly, 0-2. Lou had a 2-run homer last night, his 12th. He was the offense for the Tigers, at least in terms of scoring runs. Wegman missing away, a ball and 2 strikes. Well, partner, we had 5 men go to the plate in the top of the first, and we saw a lot of baseball in that inning, that half inning. The Brewers coming up with a run on 3 hits. Whitaker gets a piece of it, and it's just wide of the Tiger dugout foul. Now, we are pleased to have Bob Bach with us. Bob is the sports director at Super 18 in Milwaukee. He'll be joining us during the ball game, and he'll be doing his sportscast from Tiger Stadium tonight live following the ball game. TV 18 in Milwaukee with the 9 o'clock evening news, and I would think it'd be a little bit closer to 9:30 tonight, but Bob will be joining us during the ball game, and then he'll have all of the latest sports for you from Tiger Stadium. Wegman 3 and 1 against the Tigers. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Whitaker. He holds up on a pitch inside, and the count is full. Whitaker is working on a 6-game hitting streak. Fastball down the middle. Schroeder over, and he throws it to his buddy Wegman for the first out. Those 2 guys are a tag team off the field, and they combine on a pretty nifty 3-1 putout.
I'll tell you, that's not the easiest play in the world either, Jim. And Bill Schroeder has not played all that much first base. So you can look at what the Tigers have done in each division this year.
7 games over 500 against the East. 10 over 500 against the West. 1 out, Sheridan at the plate. Pat Sheridan was 0 for 4 last night. He's batting .265. Whitaker extended his streak to 6 games last night, just as Sheridan's ended at 6. Two balls and 1 strike. Paul Molitor is about a half step in front of the bag and off the line at third. The rest of the infield is back. In the dirt, 3 and 1. Sheridan has been carrying a pretty hot bat lately. .321 over the last 7 games. And he draws a walk, the first given up by Wegman. With Sheridan on first, a reminder that Carex puts the brakes on childhood cancer whenever the Brewers turn a double play. Carex will donate $50 to the MAC Fund. Alex Grammas at third base for Sparky Anderson. Dick Trzewiski at first. And here is Fred Lynn. He had a single in 4 trips last night in his first appearance as a Detroit Tiger. One of the writers in town here was kind of rough on Lynn today. He made the inference that maybe it wasn't such a good deal after all. Heck, the guy flew from California. Had a rough time getting here. Had a long day, gets a hit, and it's not good enough. I don't think you judge people on 4 at-bats, do you? Here's a fly ball to center field. Robin is camped under it and makes the put out. Last night, Mike, reporters in Detroit were saying that if an outfielder is injured, Lynn could in fact be put on the playoff roster. That is in fact not true. Here's Darrell Evans, the first baseman. You have to be on the 40-man roster by midnight the 31st of August to be eligible for the playoffs, and Fred Lynn did not get to Chicago in time, so he will not be able to play in postseason play should the Tigers get in. That's a pretty productive .203 average right there, isn't it, with 17 home runs?
Well, he is closing in on another milestone, 398 career home runs. One more would tie him with Al Kaline, and of course on that magic number 400.
Let's pause for station identification on the Brewer TV network.
You're watching the Brewers and Tigers on Super 18 WBTV Milwaukee.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Wegman misses 1 ball and 1 strike.
Boy, he has got that classic home run swing, Jimmy. When you see him get locked and ready to swing, he just drops those hands right down, and he's looking to lift. See how he drops those hands and gets them into almost an uppercut swing mode. He has got the classic stroke for a home run hitter.
Well, Evans has found those seats in right field numerous times. Here you see the shift for Evans on the infield. Molitor all alone between third and second. Swain, Gantner, and Schroeder on the right side. Schroeder holding the runner, Sheridan. He tried to lift that one into those seats. 325 down the line here in right field. 370 in the power alley. Out to 440 in center field.
Well, good pitch by Billy Wegman. Looked like Evans was sitting on a fastball, and Wegman with good motion really fooled him with an off-speed pitch.
Evans works the count to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Only 5 batters in the American League have walked more than Evans. He walked twice last night, and he has been put aboard 70 times. Two outs. There goes the runner, and Evans walks for the 71st time. 2 walks in the inning by Billy Wegman. Runners at first and second now. 2 outs for Chet Lemon. Would John Adam be upset if I said there's the Brain Trust and John Adam? Or is he part of the Brain Trust?
Do I have to answer that?
No, I'll let you off the hook on that one. I tell you what, Johnny does a good job. He keeps everybody loose. We were talking about that before the ball game. Chemistry on a club can come from a lot of different areas, can it? And John Adam adds a lot to the mix of the Milwaukee Brewers. Takes care of the nicks and bruises, but takes care of the heads a little bit too, with a lot of humor and good-natured fun. Here's the 0-1 pitch. A drive right field deep Deer at the wall. Goes up and gets it. Robbie Deer makes a catch on a ball hit deep by Lemon, and the Brewers get out of it without damage. Whoa, couple of walks, both stranded, one complete at Tiger Stadium. 1-0 Milwaukee on the Brewer TV network.
You know, when I pitched, I used to have trouble in the late innings, but I won't have any trouble pitching my favorite beer, Miller Lite. Light's less filling, and it's light's less filling, and light's less filling, and
That's it for today, Mike. Bad delivery.
Oh.
Hey, Raleigh, finish it up.
And it tastes great, too.
No matter how you pitch him, there's only one light beer, Miller Lite.
Robin Yount, Paul Molitor, Jim Gantner, Greg Brock, Teddy Higuera, and more. They can all be yours on September 10th. A gift from WTMJ Radio and Miller Lite on Fan Appreciation Night. This collector's edition Milwaukee Brewers team portrait will be free to every fan in attendance. Plus, over 50 prizes will be given away after the game, including this 1988 Buick Limited Coupe, the official Brewer bullpen car. Fans, it's your night. Saturday, September 10th. Fan Appreciation Night.
This young man is about to repair his own car. The problem? Clogged fuel injectors. As you watch, he's fixing it with Mobil Super Unleaded gasoline. Its advanced detergent formula can unclog fuel injectors and keep your entire fuel intake system clean. Drive your engine clean with Mobil Super Unleaded. High octane with a plus. Get a free Packer's glass with every fill-up of 8 gallons or more of Mobil Super Unleaded Plus.
No matter why you're on the road, you can depend on brakes from Meineke. I do.
At Meineke, we do brakes. We analyze the whole system, pinpoint the problem, and fix it.
We move to the second inning. Joey Meyer will lead it off for the Brewers. Charlie O'Brien and Jim Gantner will follow. The Brewers lead 1-0. And we have had an exciting first inning tonight. The Brewers scoring a run on 3 hits in their half, and the Tigers coming ever so close to a 3-run first inning. Chet Lemon retired on a fly ball at the wall by Rob Deer. Joey's hitting streak ended at 11 games last night, the longest current streak in the American League. Here's a shot. It'll be a foul ball, I believe. Oh, wait a minute. What? The umpire was signaling as if the play was off, but he was just saying it wasn't caught. A line drive at Tanana. Tim Cheetah walked out in front of the plate. This ball right back in and out of the glove of Tanana. Well, signaling that he did not catch it on the way down.
Right.
And Meyer is retired. 1-3 on the putout. Charlie O'Brien will step up now to face Tanana.
I think Tanana thought that ball was hit harder than it was. Joey got it off the end of the bat.
Here's a line drive left field. Sheridan comes on, makes the catch. 1 pitch, and O'Brien is retired. 2 up and 2 down. Sparky Anderson going with the same lineup in game 2 as he did in the series opener last night. Here's Jim Gantner batting .277. Jimmy had a couple of hits in 4 trips last night. A fastball inside off the plate. Breaking pitch over. 1-1. Tanana misses with that curveball. 2 balls and 1 strike. The Brewers and the Tigers will play tomorrow night and then again on Sunday afternoon. That wraps it up for the Brewers against the Eastern Division in '88. It will be the West from Monday on. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Gantner. Where has the season gone? Just 10 games remaining at County Stadium. A couple of 5-game homestands. Breaking pitch. See you later. Gantner strikes out number 2 for Frank Tanana. 1, 2, 3 in the second. 1.5 complete. 1-0 Milwaukee on the Brewer TV network.
The Medical Society of Milwaukee County presents Your Health Today. This segment provided by the Milwaukee County Medical Complex.
For too many Milwaukeeans, these pictures portray a silent killer, cholesterol. Cholesterol deposits can clog an artery, causing a heart attack or stroke. Physicians in Milwaukee are concerned about cholesterol because it's a major risk factor for heart disease. Luckily, your cholesterol can be controlled. Simple changes in your diet, replacing certain foods with others like these, will lower your cholesterol. Aerobic exercise also helps. But the first step is to know your blood cholesterol level. A quick, simple test will determine if you're at risk. So talk to your doctor about your cholesterol level and have it checked soon.
Milwaukee County Medical Complex, flight for light.
Go ahead, flight for light.
We're landing at the Milwaukee County Medical Complex.
Ground team is standing by at this time.
With medical resources for a healthy lifetime, you get top flight care at your Milwaukee County Medical Complex.
Your Health Today is brought to you through the cooperation of the Hospital Council of the Greater Milwaukee Area and the Medical Society of Milwaukee County. This segment was provided by the Milwaukee County Medical Complex.
Hi, Wally Rank inviting you to attend our 23rd Annual Antique Classic Auto Show, September 10th and 11th at Rank & Son. It's fun and it's free.
This copyrighted program is authorized under television rights granted by the Milwaukee Brewers Baseball Club solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Milwaukee Brewers and WVTV Super 18 is prohibited. The Brewers have a run on 3 hits. The Tigers will send Matt Noakes, Luis Salazar, and Tom Brookins to the plate in the second. This guy hit a couple of fly balls last night that had a chance to get out of here. Robin caught one at the wall. And Noakes hit another fly ball toward right. They're crowded on the right side. They shift for Noakes as they do for Evans. Molitor playing a little bit more toward third for Noakes, however. He plays just about equally between third and second for Evans, and he shades toward third base for the Tiger catcher. Noakes was 0 for 4 last night.
Well, Noakes goes to the plate, Jim, in search of the heat. If he can find a fastball that he can jump on, he wants to turn on just about everything he can get to up there.
His fly ball in the 6th inning came with 2 runners aboard, and it took Robin to the track in right center field. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wegman took something off and misses high, and the count now 2 balls and 2 strikes. He got him on the corner. Strikeout number 1 for Wegman. Noakes caught looking. So there's 1 away for Luis Salazar. Salazar 1 for 3 in last night's ball game. There's a breaking pitch over for a strike. Salazar picked up the first hit in last night's game off Birkbeck.
Tell you, Jim, they got about 4 guys in a row in this lineup that you better be able to get your breaking ball over to. If you don't, they will hit that fastball hard. Talking about Evans, Lemons, Noakes, and Salazar, 4 in a row.
Well, that is what Wegman has been trying to do. He has gotten in trouble when he has gotten away from his off-speed and his breaking stuff. Unable to throw it for strikes, and Wegman has suffered through 5 straight losses.
And when he has at times, it's been a little lazy, too. He hasn't had that good downward action on it, hung some sliders.
2-2 pitch out over the plate, lifted in the air. Deere will make the catch in right, and Salazar is retired.
That was a good one right there that he got Salazar to fly to right on. Just a little breaking slider, but he made it in a good spot. Down and away.
Third baseman Tom Brookins steps in, 252 with 5 home runs. He was 0 for 3 last night. Batting at even 200 against the Brewers this season, 6-4-30. And he looks at a strike. Oh, Wegman has that soft slider, and if he can throw that for strikes, he's ahead of the game. 0-2. Wegman works quickly. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swaim has it. 1-2-3 in the second for the Brewers. 2 complete. Milwaukee leads 1-0 on the Brewer TV network.
Go ahead, Toyota dealer. Make my day.
No problem with a selection of cars, trucks, and vans this big. But Toyota's Make My Day sales event is almost over.
Hey, dude, think you can make my day?
With savings like these extra value option packages, your day is made. It's the Make My Day sales event with deals and savings on every car, truck, and van on the lot. But it's almost over. See your Toyota dealer right now and let the savings make your day.
They asked me to demonstrate Century brand pretzels. Twists, sticks, tinies, and rods. Thank goodness I only got this far. Oh, speaking of goodness, these are incredibly good. Right amount of salt, fresh, delicate buttery taste, no preservatives. No wonder Century put their own name on them. Kids, do not attempt to demonstrate Century pretzels at home. Just eat them.
Oh, Century brand means good food costs less at Century.
There's a new sound floating around. Chicken being grilled at the border. Taco Bell introduces grilled chicken fajitas, juicy strips of marinated chicken, and everything it takes to make it as good as it sounds. The new grilled chicken fajita at only $1.39. You gotta go for it.
No matter why you're on the road, you can depend on brakes from Meineke. I do.
At Meineke, we do brakes. We analyze the whole system, pinpoint the problem, and fix it.
We move to the 3rd inning. 3 hits in the game, and the Brewers have all 3 coming in the first. Dale Swaim to lead it off against Frank Tanana. Dale 2 for 4 in the opener last night. Swings at the first pitch. This one fouled into the upper deck. Dale is having a pretty good season against the Tigers. He's now 13 for 36. 361 against Detroit. Inside, well, we welcome Bob Bach to our broadcast.
And a pleasure to be here, let me say.
Glad to have you.
What a thrill.
It's a great
Beautiful
ballpark,
place.
isn't it?
Oh, it's just marvelous. What a place to see hardball. And history.
Did you bring your glove?
No, but I have a large shield.
Garbage can cover up here.
Holy man, any closer we'd be up.
Tell you what, if Dale Swaim wanted to say hello to you, Bob, he could.
We could shake on it.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Nobody out, 3rd inning. The Brewers lead 1-0. Off speed, right back at Tanana. Check swing back to the pitcher, and Swaim is retired. Well, Bob, as we said, is the sports director at WVTV Super 18 in Milwaukee and part of a new news team. And how's that going? I've been catching your act. Looks pretty good to me.
Well, thanks, Jim. It's going excellently, really. Liz Talbot, Marlon McGee, Dwayne Gay, some wonderful people to work with, and folks that have taken their time to show me the ropes, along with yourself in television. It's a fascinating business. There's a lot to learn, and so far, so good.
Well, come on now. It's just radio with pictures. Molitor swings at the first pitch.
Everybody keeps telling me that, but that doesn't work on the edit machine. I keep wanting to hold up photographs, but it doesn't make a difference.
Paul had an infield single and scored in the first. He was driven in by Robbie Deere with a line drive. Tanana works him way outside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
The response from the community has been excellent too, Jim, I should say. It seems to be just a perfect time for a newscast that features a lot of national and international stories, plus the important events of the day locally. So really things are going very well.
On the 1-1, Tanana misses 2 balls and a strike. Well, I always kid Lyle Schulze, the operations and program manager at Super 18. I call it news for tired people, but it's just in jest, right? 9 o'clock, that's a good time. You can catch the news and catch a snooze early if you want to.
I'll tell you,
now.
Jim, what impresses me, they did a super job on that set, too. Makes you look good, which is tough to do.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
Hey, guys, we're getting a little rain here in Detroit. We expected showers off and on tonight, and they are on at the moment. Not real heavy, but...
You know I'm only kidding you, don't you?
Well, not completely, though. You know, we had makeup classes, and each of the other folks, Liz, Dwayne, and Marlon, each got 45 minutes. They spent half a week with me. They're going to send out for stuff.
2 balls and 2 strikes. We're in the 3rd. The Brewers lead 1-0. Molitor at the plate. Swaim grounded back to Tanana for the first out. And again, the count is full. Tanana has had several full counts through the first 2 1/3.
Let me ask you a question, Bob. How are you at rain delays?
Well, I can fill air with anybody, I think, right?
Yeah. All right. Well,
we may put you to work in earnest here, Robert. Molitor swings, lifts it in the air. Pettis under it in center field. He'll fight the rain and the ball and make the catch. 2 outs.
Different sport, but years ago, George Thompson, whom I think both of you know well, and I were working a basketball game for Marquette out east, and they wanted to put a spotlight on the players as they came out onto the court. The problem was they had to cut the house lights, so they put the spotlight on. The team was introduced. When they went to bring the lights back up, they wouldn't go on. They didn't go on for 90 minutes, but we filled 90 minutes worth of time.
Well, get your tap shoes ready, boys. Larry Barnett at first base says we're going to pull the tarp out. Rain coming down. Pretty heavy now at Tiger Stadium. And the grounds crew will go to work. 2 outs in the 3rd inning. Jeffrey Leonard was on his way to the plate. And the tarp will be brought out. So we will have a rain delay here. Everybody is battening down the hatches.
I'll tell you, Jim, it is raining hard. There's no question about it. Coming down a little harder now. I have a feeling that Larry Barnett knew something when he called time and brought the grounds crew out on the field. You know, we have seen harder rain for shorter spurts, and they have tried to play the ball game or continue to play through it. So we knew when we started here tonight that there was a possibility of a rain delay, and it has, in fact, happened.
Well, this is quickly escalating into the deluge category at the moment.
Yeah, they're closing us right in here, are they?
It's a little scary.
Are there lights in the booth here?
Have you guys worked out of a cave before?
Never in the... Well, we have worked in the dark. We've been working in the dark all year, but that's another point.
We've worked ourselves into a few caves, haven't we?
It's coming down very, very heavy now. But it didn't take the ground crew very long, did it, to get the tarp on the field? They did a good job.
Boy, you know, initially, that's a good point. Initially, it looked like they were going to have a little trouble with the way the rain picked up. I thought the field might get very wet, but they really got that tarp out there in a hurry. They did a great job, and the infield will be well protected, and the rain continues to fall harder and harder. I mean, it just keeps coming down, and it has been picking up steadily since it began a minute or two ago.
I know it felt this way throughout this afternoon, at least after I arrived shortly after noon. The conditions were just hanging, and I'm not sure if we had that kind of humid weather back Milwaukee and Wisconsin way today, but it was certainly a humid kind of day, and you expected to have something like this, which is a heck of a downpour any moment, and it finally arrived at 8:25 Eastern time.
Well, Bobby, let's talk a little bit about you. Shifting gears, as Jim said, I'm sure most of the people around the state recognize the name and the voice from the Marquette Warriors for many years. What's it feel like to be behind an anchor desk as opposed to doing play-by-play of basketball?
Well, I'll tell you, the first reaction is it was scary. You know, I think it was Dan Rather that had a book that said the camera never blinks or never lies or whatever it does.
Well,
but
either.
That baby stares at you.
It sure does. The darn thing's always looking. But I think the first thing really was some initial fear of just the whole thing TV. But after I got over that, which I'm really still in the process of doing and getting over the nervousness and things like that, I'm beginning to learn every day how to write to video and how to just understand what pictures are supposed to do as opposed to just audio. And just in radio, of course, where you paint the picture and you can almost never have enough description, whether it's the color of a team's uniforms or whatever, to doing much of what Jim does, and that's dovetail that effort into the really pertinent facts that a television viewer might not get from just watching the game as it progresses. So I think that's been the biggest shift so far, Mike.
Of course, you're really going to have an opportunity. You're not leaving the basketball arena completely. TV18 going to carry Badger basketball and hockey this fall, so you'll have a chance to get back and do some TV basketball, too.
That'll be exciting. Wisconsin sounds as if it's going to have an excellent team compared to seasons past. They just came back from Europe where they won 8 games without a loss, which I think is a wonderful thing for them. And, you know, when it comes to Badger basketball, if they could finish even 500 in the conference, I mean, that would be a glorious year for them. And it'd be a glorious thing for Steve Yoder, who has worked so hard in Madison, to be able to accomplish that. And they might be able to do it.
Is your first telecast going to be Marquette, Wisconsin?
Yes, sir.
How are you going to feel being on the other side of the court, so to speak?
I think that'll be a double-double. You know, it'll be a double awkward. Number one, you're doing television, and secondarily, you're announcing with a kind of special emphasis for a team entirely different from the one that you had worked for 12 years. So that will be a peculiar feeling, I'm sure. But it'll be, as you know, the Wisconsin Fieldhouse is such an exciting place to be able to do basketball, and the fans naturally are right on top of the action there. It'll be a fun game, and I think Wisconsin stands an excellent chance of winning that one from Marquette the way things look right now with the most recent fortunes of the Marquette Warrior program.
Another irony, I think, is the fact that Wisconsin, of course, is in the Big Ten, so you're going to be covering conference basketball at a time when Marquette is going to be going into conference basketball.
Isn't that something? Marquette's schedule, from what I understand, and we were going to talk about this later this evening on the Nightly News, the schedule for Marquette was difficult to put together this year because they're in a funny year. You know, they are not in the conference yet, but they still are assembling certain games against conference teams, and it didn't leave them with a lot of home-and-home opportunities. So consequently, their schedule features some teams this year that Marquette fans have never seen before, not the least of which is Maryland, Baltimore County, Morgan State, some teams that fans may not be real familiar with. So next year, the Marquette Warriors will be in the Midwestern Collegiate Conference, and I think it's a great thing for them, Jim. It's I think the fans, even those that are a little lukewarm to the idea now, will become much hotter about it and warm up to it quickly once that thing gets rolling.
Hey, guys, as quickly as that, the rain has stopped.
It sure has.
Larry Barnett, the umpire, is out. He's looking for the head of the grounds crew. He is the crew chief, talking about Larry Barnett, and there's no ground crew around. It stopped raining, and Larry's down the third baseline saying, come on, guys, let's get back out here.
It has stopped as quickly as it came, and we're going to take a break now. We'll be back at Tiger Stadium in just a moment on the Brewer TV Network.